Hey everyone, I'm back again with another video, and this one is titled Wife Cheated, Lied, Hid STI. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Let's get right into it. I've been married to my wife for 3.5 years, and together almost 7 years. A couple of days after our anniversary this year, May, she went on a business trip to a different city. She said that she had intended to meet up with a male friend for food after the trip, to which I consented. When she got home, I noticed that there were subtle behaviors that felt off, which came to a head a couple of days later when we were visiting my nephew, who had been seriously ill with something the doctors were struggling to diagnose. She was in a text conversation with someone and kept angling away from me while in the conversation. I felt this was a bit strange, so the next day, I sneaked a look at her phone when she went to the bathroom. I found a very graphic conversation via Twitter direct messages, no images, but talking very graphically. I only had a few seconds, so I couldn't get the whole context. Got a friend to text me with an emergency so I could get out of the house and clear my head. He advised that, while it didn't look good, I didn't get the whole picture, and I should probably try to get another look before confronting her. That night, I woke up earlier, around 4 a.m., and looked at her phone again, seeing that she deleted the direct messages. She hadn't, however, deleted the email notifications, so I found those and confronted her. She had no defense, and fell on her sword. I learned that the intercourse that they had was unprotected, and she slipped up and said that she had intended to sleep with me the next day. I've had a vasectomy, so we don't use protection. She refused to talk to anyone to get support initially, and there were indications that she was thinking about hurting herself. So the next few days were agonizing while I had to be the person to watch over her while simultaneously being the person who she had hurt. She eventually opened up to some close family and friends, relieving the pressure from me immensely. We had some very difficult conversations over the next few weeks, exploring what had gone wrong, and I learned some quite difficult and disturbing things that had happened in her upbringing. She also mentioned that one of the reasons was that I didn't seem as interested in her as she would like. I noted that in our relationship, I was the one who initiated intercourse 99.9% of the time, which had led me to feel unattractive and unwanted, making me less inclined to initiate as time went on. Genital frequency tended to be once a week. Things seemed to improve, but then she went on another business trip, different city, he wasn't there, and I noticed that they were following each other again on Instagram. I confronted her about it and said that she must have accidentally followed him, and that she didn't realize that I wanted her to stop him from following her in the first place. I was, I think understandably, dissatisfied with the answer, as I was very explicit with the block/unblock thing. But she would not budge, and there was nowhere for the arguments to go. I moved out to a hotel for a few days with the proviso that she would move out for a few days when I got back. Somehow, I couldn't tell you how, things improved again, and we tried to work on it. We had a few months where things almost got back to normal. In truth, some of our happiest months, having been more open about issues within our relationship. And then she went on another business trip. The phone network we both use went down while she was away, without any warning or even acknowledgement by the company. And I freaked out a bit, not being able to contact her or locate her on a GPS app we have both had for years. She has a tendency to think that I've died if ever she has trouble getting a hold of me. I looked up the man that she had slept with, and he was in the same city at an event very close by. When able to contact her again, I calmly gave her the benefit of the doubt and texted her saying that I know that he's there, and has she had contact with him. She said she hadn't, which either meant that he didn't know she was there or that he didn't want to contact her, either of which was fine with her. I normalized the text conversation for the rest of the day, knowing that me asking about him would likely put her on edge. As I think it's understandable, the idea was difficult to shake. So the next morning, I checked her location for the previous evening, and saw that after the work event, she went on a bit of a bar crawl making her way back to her hotel, and then shot across the city to a different hotel between 11:30 p.m. and 12:40 a.m. I phoned that hotel in the morning just before their checkout time, asking if I could get a message to my colleague who stayed there, giving the surname of the man she cheated on me with. They confirmed his whole name, saying that he had already checked out that morning. I hit the roof, and she first tried to make me feel bad for snooping. I'll get to that in a bit. Before saying she did see him with the intention of asking him to block me because she felt we couldn't move on if I was still checking up on him. I didn't buy that, as I don't think that needed a meeting at his hotel for over an hour, and could have been done via text. Plus, I would have noticed that he suddenly blocked me. I ended the relationship and spoke to my family about all of this for the first time. I didn't want to cause a rift between them that they may not be able to fix if I was ultimately able to get past this. She moved out into a temporary place she found on Airbnb, and has since moved back in after finding a flat to rent in the longer term. Things have been strange, because they almost seem normal while we are living together again until you suddenly realize that they're not. And I don't think it's given either of us real time to process our feelings. She has since confessed that she kissed him goodbye when they met. To complicate matters even further, my wife has admitted to me within the last 2 days that she had been hiding the fact that she has an STI from me for the majority of our relationship. She claimed that this was the reason why she had not been as open over the past years, and why she had declined at some times. I've never had any symptoms, so I may have been very lucky with that, but I haven't had myself tested yet. Not only does this make me feel very uncomfortable that she hid a highly contagious STD from me for years, but to then have also not mentioned that at all when I opened up to her about how her not seeming interested in me damaged my self-esteem and self-image is incredibly hurtful. Regarding my snooping through her phone, I'm entirely aware that this was a very toxic behavior, and it's something that I am very ashamed of doing, considering that I've found evidence of cheating and lying through this method. I'm personally of the opinion that mine is the lesser of the two evils, but it's proven to me that elements of this relationship have turned me into a person I don't want to be. I also realize that this must sound like just a rant, but my conundrum is this: I truly love this woman unconditionally. I want her to have a happy life, and she claims the same is true in reverse, as difficult as it may seem to believe. I think she believes that too. She is clearly very troubled, and I'm the only one who knows her whole story, save even further surprises that I'm not aware of. So there's a large part of me that wants to help her. I should note that this has had a massive detrimental effect on my mental health. I've been suffering with thoughts, and have been seen by my local hospital's crisis team twice throughout this. And the first comment says, at this point you should contact the other guy's partner and inform her of the medical information and suggest an STD check and inform him as well. I know he is probably the last person you want to talk to, but at this point maybe he will draw a line at intentionally infecting other people. Or maybe he won't. Either way, his partner should definitely know and get checked out, and so should he in case he has a shred of integrity in him. And the OP replied, unfortunately, contacting his wife has been frustratingly difficult. To make matters more bizarre, she's a semi-public figure, a specialist TV presenter. He managed to get to my original messages before she did, deleted them, and blocked me. So my wife tells me he admitted on their most recent meeting. So I tried again after the Instagram refollowing incident via a web form on her website. She allegedly saw this message while he was there, but dismissed me as a crazy person. She's either in denial or being completely manipulated by him. I guess I can sympathize. And the replier said, this is how my WS affair partner's fiance was. I had my suspicions for years, and anytime I found something not good, like 30 pages of text on our phone bill, he'd excuse it away and block me. By the time my WS came clean and gave me an email address and a password of very explicit recaps of their intercourse, I didn't even bother informing him because I knew he loved that woman so bad he'd likely just ignore it. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, and be sure to comment below what other subreddits you want me to cover.